More now on our top story, the flood situation unfolding in the southeast of Queensland. Joining me live is the Queensland Fire and Emergency Services Assistant Commissioner, Andrew Short. Commissioner, thanks so much for your time. There are several emergency and flood warnings in place. What areas are the worst impacted?
Yeah, certainly Lockheed Valley is the key for us, but it's part of probably a broader area, right out to Toowoomba, from the border right up to Gladstone, that we're still seeing that weather system work through. We've got a lot of resources in the field. We're doing a lot of communicating. We're trying to be as proactive as we can to help the community through this. So we're asking the community to take good choices. Pay attention to the warnings as they come out, and if they receive direction or request to do something, that they're really quite respectful of that request.
So Lockheed Valley is the area of most concern, and residents there have been urged to move to higher ground. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I heard before I come on that the numbers that the police are using is up to 260. So that's been done very early, so as to try to not panic people at the last moment. And so certainly a lot of effort's being put into supporting those residents through this coming period.
And where can people go? Are they best to go to friends' homes, or are there emergency centres available?
Yeah, there are evacuation centres available, and that detail is already out there. So we ask people that when they receive the messages and the advice that they're going to receive from people on from authorities on the ground, that they listen to that advice, and that advice will include what their options are in terms of evacuation centres.
Is there an update on the number of people that have had their homes impacted by this flood?
Not at this point, because as we saw through the night, without a lot of rain, we're going to continue to see rain today, and that detail will come through during the course of today.
Several roads have been closed. We'll obviously see the detail carry out throughout the rest of the day as well, but at this point in time, are people adhering to the messages and avoiding the roads?
Well, we've had 9 requests for swiftwater operators to help. Thankfully, none of those have resulted in a bad outcome. So the numbers are still higher than we'd like, but what it says to us is that a lot of people are being very respectful of the road closures, and that's incredibly important, because I know that people listening to this right now will include people who probably had to make a decision to turn around that water, and I do appreciate and thank those people for making good decisions.
That is good to hear. Brisbane and South East Queensland suffered floods just a couple of months ago. The ground is still soaked from some of that extreme wet weather. Is that making this flooding event even worse?
Well, when you've had rain and water on the ground for such an extended period, you're correct in that it does complicate when we have additional rainfall, and that's what's happening right now. So, a lot of rain after a dry period is a very different situation to more rain, which is occurring now after extended previous periods of rainfall.
Emotionally, this has got to be tough for residents of South East Queensland to go through a major flooding event. Again, is it even harder for people out there in Queensland right now?
Well, it's fair to say that we've got a lot of communities who have been through a lot. Our own SCS volunteers, our own fire and rescue rescuers, they've been doing a lot of work over a long time. We're up to about 16,000 requests for SCS since February, and we've had over 700 rescues performed by swiftwater operators since February. So it's been it's been a long, hard slog, but we're in it right to the end, and as is being forecast, once we move into the weekend, that system is currently forecast to move out over the ocean, and that's going to give us some relief. Having said that, we're going to still see a lot of water coming down through the river systems, and we're planning accordingly.
Okay, and look, we're almost out of time, but final advice for those who are in the floods and how to keep safe.
I think turn your radio on, listen to the media that's coming out, listen to the advice that's coming from the authorities, and just take that advice and then take decisions. There's lots of options for people to ring to get the detail for their local area. Particularly local government is incredibly important for us, and indeed lead a lot of the work that we do, because it's their local community that's been impacted. So, state government work with local government day in, day out on these occasions. And as I said, we're here to assist these communities right through to the closure of this period.
Commissioner Andrew Short, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.